What's love, everybody? It is late here. You can probably tell it on our faces. We have a lot to go over. First of all, we're sorry we couldn't do the live show yesterday. We had some unforeseen circumstances. We almost didn't make it today. We've had some sicknesses going through the household. We're both feeling it a little bit as well. But we love doing this, so we're gonna hunker down and get through it. But we have 3 different shows to go over. Before the 90 days, The Other Way, and Love in Paradise. We're gonna talk about our predictions based on what happened in the finale, which we have not talked about. Isn't that right, LA?
Yep. Darn right.
So we're going to jump right in because we have so much to cover. And we're going to start out with Before the 90 Days.
All right.
Actually, you know what? What am I saying? We're starting out with The Other Way because we just watched The Other Way.
All right.
I'm just so used to doing the Before the 90 Days after show. We're doing The Other Way after show all of a sudden. And we met 3 couples and also had a returning couple this week. Overall, what did you think of this particular episode?
I liked it. I felt like the couples that we met, they all knew each other. So right? There was none of their first time meeting. Oh, one couple's first time meeting. But I feel like I don't count them because they stay on video chat.
Right, they practically have been living together. Yeah.
But yeah, all the couples seem very familiar with each other. There seems to be like already that initial chemistry. So yeah, I'm excited for this. Yeah.
So let's just jump into that. And first up, let me find the cast here. Put the crickets on while we're waiting.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
You can do it noises. Too. I gotta see. I'm still getting familiar with all these new people here. First up, we got Mary and Brandan. You already alluded to the fact of what they're all about. Mary's 23, Brandan's 23. She's from the Philippines. I don't remember where he's from. So let's go over what happened to them. So first thing, it starts off, we learned that every single moment they are on video chat. To the point where we thought they were doing something very, I don't know.
Risque?
Risque, yes. But, which I guess they kind of were. And it just shows you that every moment is like being video recorded. He's
going to the restroom and she's on video with him. They sleep together on video. It's obnoxious, actually.
So Brandon's had a hard life. His mom had some substance abuse problems. She ended up losing her kids. He ended up staying with his father, and he was, I guess, very overbearing. Somehow he ended up with... He was living in a car, I think, for a little while. And he ended up living with his godparents, where he lives in a trailer there. And that's when he met Mary on a site. Now, you would think that they spend every waking moment. There couldn't possibly be any jealousy, but apparently that's all there is jealousy.
All the time.
So they show Brandan going to get his teeth cleaning, and there was the dental hygienist was just very happy. Hey, how you doing? Very friendly. And she said, is this your first love? And he's like, well, no. And Mary's bawling, and she's also like, you could tell she was a little cautious about the dental hygienist.
Yeah, she seems quite dramatic, and it just seems that if he's around any woman at all, she has an issue with it. Right. Which I guess is part of the reason why she wants to be on video with him every moment.
Right.
However,
Mary does not. Well, we'll get to that. So Mary's living with her grandparents. She lives in a very nice house, by the way. Now, we're coming from before the 90 days, where you see Sheila living in poverty in the Philippines. Mary is living in the Philippines in a very different way.
Yeah, she said it's like a farming village. She lives with her grandparents because she was orphaned by her actual birth parents.
Right.
It's a little sad.
And she was, she decided, she had a ex-boyfriend who was from the Philippines who cheated on her all the time. So she decided she wanted to find an American. By American, she means British, Canadian, American. And she wanted somebody to look, she says, when she saw Brandan, she fell in love right away because he looks a cross between Harry Potter and Justin Bieber. And kind of looking at that picture, yeah, that fits.
Yep, Bieber Potter.
So, yeah, exactly. But what she doesn't tell him, she's a bit of a hypocrite, is like when he goes to sleep, she will unplug her router and say, oh,
we lost power.
We lost power, which, as if he's not going to watch this at some point.
She's really hanging out with her guy friends. Can you imagine that? She has a whole little group of guy friends she hangs out with. But he's not allowed to be around women.
And so, so as she was meeting with her guy friends, it's revealed that she lost her scholarship because she had to quit dancing because Brandan was jealous. Now, they didn't go into big detail about that. I want to hear Brandan's side of that story, but that would be really, really bad. That's where it's taking the jealousy to the wrong level.
Yeah, so I want to hear more of that story.
Yeah. So she said if it doesn't work out, she's going to become a nun, but I guess they all say that. Then later, Brandan meets with his mother, his sister, his brother, and turns out that they haven't seen Brandan much because his mother has roommates that are female, and his sister has friends who are female, and he can't even go there for Christmas dinner or any event because Mary gets jealous.
Well, he even said, his sister said that they just made like a Christmas meal, the two of them together, brother and sister, and Mary had an issue with that. So there's something real weird going on.
Mary's wildin', that's what it is. But
what did you say?
She's wildin'.
She's wildin'?
Yeah, isn't that what they say?
I'm not sure who says that.
Okay. And we got a comment here. I don't even know how to say that name. That's why I paused earlier. So your mom was a dental hygienist. I bet you your mom never had somebody come in and video chat the whole time.
Right, with their partner.
And we are sort of we are both a little under the weather, but we're trying to fight through it. Together. So that's the Mary Brandan story. Initially when I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, they're video chatting all the time. Well, they've practically been with each other the whole time for the last 2 years anyway. But now that I see all the issues and the jealousy that is caused by it, now I'm not so sure. I guess it'll be different when they're together, but...
Yeah, we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah. Next up, we got Holly, 44. Wayne, 40. He's from South Africa. I think Holly said she was from Utah. She has long hair, like, down to her feet. Right?
Yeah, yep. Very long.
And she's a barber. She never does women's hair, only men's hair. And Wayne is a plumber, and they met because they're both Jehovah's Witnesses, although apparently they're not practicing anymore.
I'd like to take a deep dive into that later.
Anyway, they've already met. She went over there, and they instantly had chemistry. And within 3 days, he proposed to her, and she ran away, but eventually he caught her, and she said yes. Right?
That's so weird. Caught her by the
That's the story, right?
Get back here. And then she said yes.
Right. But she said there are some issues in South Africa. There was one time they were robbed and lost everything. There's scheduled blackouts, sometimes random blackouts, which sounded like the Purge to me.
Yeah, but that's in some countries that's normal to have scheduled blackouts, and during the scheduled blackouts, sometimes there's robberies.
Yeah, so she said she's never been so sure in her life, and when she's going over there, she's going over there soon, and they're going to marry within a week.
Yeah, so she's bringing her mother with her. Wayne's not happy about it.
Wayne is not happy. So the mom is going to be their chaperone because of their religion, even though neither of them practice it anymore.
Sounds like they're practicing it to me.
Nemo
parts
sign.
of it?
Nemo sign is how you pronounce it. Thank you. We got it.
Thank you.
And tell us where you're from, too. And we don't feel too bad. We're feeling better. So the mom's going to be the chaperone, but Wayne can't wait for the honeymoon night when they're going to put the mom, I think, in the shed outside or somewhere down.
Yeah, he says mom got to go.
In the horse stable, I think. So they can't wait for their honeymoon night. And the thing about first episodes is you really don't get too much because they're not together, right? So you're just getting the background. That's all we're getting here. That's why we can go through them so quickly.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got...
Who's next?
I'll tell you as soon as it comes up.
Come on.
We're having all kinds of difficulties today.
I'm impatient.
Kirsten and Julio, but don't call him Julio. Call him Julio because it sounds more European.
He wants to be Julio.
He's originally from Dominican Republic, but he's been in New York City since he's a kid.
Yeah.
And he's said he's always had like an awkward upbringing, but then he found music. He became a DJ at 15 in New York City clubs, that's pretty amazing.
Yep.
But he had this love of world travels, and he met Kirsten, I think it's Kirsten.
Not sure.
From the Netherlands. And after 2 months of just texting, not even FaceTiming, he was bold enough to go meet her on a train in Amsterdam, which is, I wouldn't recommend that. I mean, we just saw that with Tyree. And,
it didn't go well.
Yeah.
But it went well for Julio.
Yeah, it did. But they're not going to FaceTime. I don't know.
They met in person. They were quarantined together in a hotel room for a week. And
because of COVID.
And they got to know each other really well. And it seems like their relationship is going good.
It's going great. He wants to move there, but he has not told his mother.
But he does tell his mother.
So in this episode, he had just told his mother that Kirsten was coming 2 weeks prior. And then in this episode, he lets his mother know that, Mom, I got to leave the nest.
Yep. And she was sad. She cried, but I think they'll get past it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this couple. I feel like they really have a genuine connection. Like it feels real. Sometimes with 90 Day, you don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
But yeah, so far I think they're my favorite. And this is one episode in.
Right. Well, that's if they get to meet, because she's coming to New York she wants to see how he lives. And honestly, we don't see couples do this where I feel like they're doing the relationship the right way as far as like he sees where she lives, she's seeing where he lives. They get to know each other, get to know each other's families, and then move to the next step. So anyway, but she's stuck in the airport. They took her passport, and that's
yeah, she got
about.
Stuck at customs. Darn.
Yeah, now this reminds me very much of Amira when Andrew went to visit Amira in Mexico City, and she got her passport taken, and he kept partying in Mexico City.
While she was actually detained.
And then she actually never made it there. She got sent back to France. And he pretty much blamed her. Anyway, I don't ever see... I already sense that Julio's not like Andrew. No.
Andrew was terrible.
I think this one's got a shot already.
Yeah.
We're not doing predictions, but I feel good about this one.
I do too.
So that was Julio. And now we bring up fan favorites, Kenny and Armando. Kenny 60, Armando 34, living in Mexico in you see, the very first scene is them on horses like cowboys, and I was like, I didn't know they did this, right? They always seem like, I don't know, Kenny I kind of view as like a Miami guy, city slicker. But anyway, Kenny wants to move to Mexico City, but Armando has only lived in small towns. So that's they decided to do a trial move.
Yeah, so they're going to move to Mexico City for the summer, I believe, and just kind of see how it goes, how they like it. Armando is worried about safety because he feels like it could be very unsafe. Kenny feels like Armando's being a little closed-minded and maybe he needs to just open up to the idea of the city. And then another conflict the two of them are experiencing right now is that Armando wants to have a baby and Kenny's 60.
Right, and I can see Kenny's hesitation, right? Like, because they decide to have a baby now, baby comes in a year, Kenny's 61, baby's 10, and Kenny's 71, chasing around a 10-year-old. Well, you're not chasing around a 10-year-old, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
that's a very tough decision.
Yeah, I totally understand where he's coming from, and this is probably one of those things that kind of want to iron out prior, because that's a really big thing. Like if someone really wants to have a child and the other one really does not.
Yeah. I mean, this is a couple that hasn't seemed like they had too many problems with each other, right? So this is
no real.
Their problems were always outside the couple. You know, right. What was Armando's father gonna think, or Kenny's family with him leaving Florida. Right. So now this is a conflict they have between themselves. So it's quite different. Yeah,
and they say they're not used to having disagreements at all. So
yeah,
this will be interesting to see.
So they drove 5 days. I can't imagine that 5-day trip with a dog and.
I think they have 2 dogs.
Two dogs.
And their daughter.
And they showed up to Mexico City. She was very excited about Mexico City, though. And
Yeah.
I think she can win over Armando.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Armando has a daughter named...
Hannah.
Hannah, how old is she? 9, right?
I think she's 9 now, yes.
Yeah, Hannah's 9, and Kenny adopted her, so...
Cutest girl ever.
So cute.
Now they got it. So they got to the condo and they went on the top floor and they open it up and it's a beautiful view. But they got to fix those railings. Those dogs are going to jump off. That's
Yeah, it wasn't very doggy safe,
Yeah.
but I'm sure Kenny and Armando will be on top of that.
we didn't do the What's Love segment today. But if I was to say what's love for me, it would have been because I finally got to take the dogs out on the canoe, which I've always wanted to do with our new dog, and. Willow, she's sleeping behind us, but of course in the middle of the lake, Willow jumped off. So we know dogs can do very impulsive things as I had to try to save Willow from the middle of the lake. So
Yeah, I mean, she probably would have swam, but
She probably was
we don't
fine.
know. We didn't know. what
she
was
didn't
gonna
know,
happen.
but I was just imagining Armando and Kenny's dog going off that railing. So
We don't want that.
yes.
No.
So that's it. We just met those 4 couples. So we got a lot more to meet, I guess, in the weeks to come.
Yeah.
But we will move on.
All right, what's next?
Next up, we got Love in Paradise. We had the finale, and we haven't talked about it yet. That was a couple weeks ago.
All right, refresh my memory.
Okay.
I'm old, y'all. I don't remember so well these days.
Well, if you don't remember, then I'm doomed. So.
No, your memory's better than mine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll start off with a couple of the couples weren't in the finale, and
Couple of the couples?
And one of the couple of the couples
Stop.
is Carlos and Valentine. When we saw them 2 episodes ago, Valentine left to go home, and Carlos was left with his family.
Yeah, we told you about that already. They broke up.
Right. So now we're going to compare our old predictions, though. So they did
I
not.
predicted them being together.
Well, we'll find out, but they're not together. So let's see what we said.
I thought that they could make a really good couple, but I'm gonna go with no.
And in the end, I think they'll get married.
You got some high hopes. Wow.
Yeah, so that's
Point for me.
1-0 you. So I didn't realize how close the finale was, and I really thought that if you go watch our live pods, our live streams from a couple weeks ago, or I think it was 3 weeks ago, where we did predictions, we go into length about why. And I really thought, I just thought that was just going to be a bump in the road, and they were going to talk. He was going to talk to Carlos's friend, and they were going to be fine.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, that didn't happen, did
they
it?
broke up. Sorry, guys.
So another couple that wasn't in the finale was Matt and Anna. Matt went back to U.S. And she's just waiting for the visa, so they are together. Let's see what we said.
I think they're gonna stay together though, because I feel like he's infatuated with her, and I feel like she's gonna try her best to get what she wants.
I think they're going to stay together because he is really into her, and she's really into America. Now, what is her benefit of not being with him and trying to go with somebody else? It's not going to get her over there quicker. So, point each.
High five.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to stay together for good, but they're together for now.
All right. Look
Yeah.
at us.
So you're still up by 1. Next up, we got Scott and Lydia. Now, they were on this episode, so we had some things happen with them.
I could quickly tell you what happened. Nothing good.
Well, I could say that Liz left. Remember, he was with Liz?
We knew Liz was gonna leave.
They actually said goodbye in a very mature way.
Yeah.
So-
'Cause she was done with him. He got crazy.
He got very, very just overbearing.
Also, like, sir, you just came out here to meet with one woman. It doesn't work out. So next thing you know, you're calling another woman to be out there, and you're like, yeah, so you're gonna move to the U.S. with me? Slow your roll.
You're all right.
A little creepy. And well, that's what Liz said. She said he was creepy, and I concur.
Yeah.
Creep.
So then he comes back and texts Lydia. And Lydia's under the impression that he wants to get back together, although I don't think she's going to... Actually, I'm not sure. I think she might have given him a chance.
Oh, God.
But through the translator, he's like, no, I didn't want to get back together. I just wanted to be friends. I wanted us to be friends. We talked for a year, and
This dude's a joke.
now she's mad about that, but then she learns that Liz visited.
Talk about mad.
Now she's really mad.
Pissed.
Yeah, so she walks away. He says, I want to be better. I want to be like my father. And and she wants to bury his memory in the ocean. And we see the waves come and go, and that's where that one ends. So they are not together, as I'm sure we knew.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I predicted they wouldn't be. Like, come on.
Probably. Let's see.
No, this is enough. Like, a lot of words. I think it's going to be a double no for Scott.
I think it's a double no as well. And I think this new girl who just arrived, I think is only going to last another episode or two. And then she's going to go on her way. She clearly doesn't want that big commitment. So we both said, no, we got that one.
30 points for me.
That was a pretty easy one, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another one that was there. Jessica and Juan, they actually had a lot happen. So, you don't remember? Well, we'll just jump to, like, she goes to see him again.
Right,
on
pregnant,
the cruise.
on the cruise.
Mm-hmm. They spend some time in Cozumel. He's doubting his Wyoming life, and he says, I have a secret to tell her, or something I really want to talk to her about. And basically it was, you got to be tougher on your kids.
Ooh, some secret.
Well, he's like, if you're not tougher on the kids, it's not going to be good for me, and it's going to cause conflict. But she thinks if she changes parenting style, it's going to cause conflict anyway. But really, they were both just kind of like, okay, we're just going to roll with it.
No real conflict.
Yeah. So they end up visiting the doctor to find out what they're having. They're having a boy.
Woohoo! Another boy.
So that's it. They're still together. Let's see what we said.
What did we say? I'm gonna go with a yes for now, at least, because they have the baby on the way. Like, I feel like he's gonna try to be as committed to the situation as possible.
I think they'll definitely be together at the end of the season. He's committed at least that much. All right, another one we got right.
Ooh.
Moving on to Jordan and Everton. This is one of your favorites. Well, they had some drama, didn't they?
They did have drama. So, this is what I remember. You can jump in. Jordan was mad about him giving money to his mistress.
Yes.
And it's because she had a conversation with his friend in the episode prior. But when she initially found out, she really was just kind of like, okay,
fine.
yeah, all right, don't do it again. And it was fine. But I guess now as time has passed,
Yep.
it's really pissing her off. And she flipped out on him. And she pretty much was like, yeah, I'm done. Right? That's what happened. She broke up with him because she was mad that he was giving money.
We do better as business partners, she said.
Yeah, that's what she said.
And she's like, I don't want a relationship. I'm leaving as a single woman. And he said, I'm not giving up on her. I'm going to fight for her. But he didn't fight for her right there. I'm like, why don't you just fight for her right there?
Yeah, no.
Because if he like really showed like an aggression, like, no, I want this to work, she would have folded. He didn't do any of that.
Maybe, but yeah, he didn't really seem like he was... maybe he just didn't believe her. Maybe that was part of it. He just didn't believe her. He was also upset that she was talking back and like yelling at him. So
yeah,
that was a little weird.
Yeah,
like you deserve to be yelled at, obviously.
So as of now, they are not together. I feel like this is probably not the nail in the coffin in their relationship because they're business partners. They're going to continue to communicate.
I can see them getting back together.
But despite that, let's see what Bree predicted because right now they're not together.
Okay, not together. Does really seem to care about her. She seems like she really cares about him. I feel like they do have chemistry. I'm going to say that they do make it beyond the season.
Yes, I think they'll be together this season. So we both got that one wrong.
Boo.
Can't get them all. Well,
that's true.
You're still one up on me, though. Last up, though, is my last chance to tie you up. We have April and Valentine.
I do not remember what I said about these two.
So they get to the point. They get right to the point. They meet and they're like, let's just get to the point. And they both air out their grievances. Yeah. And they argue about money and insult to his family. And she wants a break and he agrees. And I gave him a lot of credit because we talk about a lot of people that we see overseas, especially from DR, and they want to get to America and they're trying to find a way to do it. And that wasn't that important to him. I like how money wasn't that important to him. It was just, he was really about the relationship and love and respect, and that won out. Right?
Yeah, no, he was like, yeah, I don't want your money. I don't want your disrespect. You can take your American ass back to America. Bye.
So they're not together. I don't think she completely closed the door, but I think he did. So I think that's gone for good.
I think he was turned off.
Let's see what we said.
I'm going to say yes, they'll be together.
I think I'm going to go no on this one.
Wow. We tied.
Tied it up.
Good job.
I mean, yeah, I guess a tie is better than a loss, but I did. So again, go back and watch our old ones. We really expanded upon what we felt about that, but that sums it up, and that puts A Love in Paradise in the books.
All right.
So moving on, what's the other show we got?
You tell me.
We got too many shows right now. Actually, never enough. So we're going to talk about Before the 90 Days. But before we talk about Before the 90 Days, maybe we should talk about this new show coming out that I've confirmed. I don't know if you remember. I had talked about...
I remember.
You do remember?
I do.
Well, I don't know if you remember. I talked about a show that was going to be 90-day... what was it called?
Therapy, something like
Couples
that.
Therapy? Couples Therapy. Well, it turns out it got a new name. It's called Couples 90 Day The Last Resort.
The Last Resort, that's it.
Which actually is a way better name.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw that up. The Last Resort, and it's coming, as you see, Monday, August 14th. And I found a trailer for it. It doesn't show the couples, but I found a trailer for it that's actually unlisted, which means you can't search for it and find it. You actually have the direct link. So I put the link in the description. Now, don't leave. Don't leave us to go check that out. Check that out later.
Watch it later.
I mean, feel free to go and push the like button, but don't leave us. You can press the link. It doesn't show anything. It just gives some words and shows the date.
Yeah.
I have learned the couples.
You've confirmed this.
I'm pretty sure. I didn't talk to them directly, but I saw a pretty reputable site that said Angela and Michael is there.
That sounds crazy.
Kalani and Asuela is there.
What?
Now I'm going to forget. Molly and Kelly, who I don't really know.
Who?
Jovi and Yara.
Okay, love them.
Oh gosh, who am I missing? I'm missing one of the couples.
Come on!
Oh, Big Ed and Liz.
Ah, God, why?
Big Ed and Liz is on. And apparently, and we'll get more of this story later too, they filmed scenes with Colt and Vanessa. Colty
and Vanessa. Oh, gosh.
And apparently, I don't know, I read a couple things. He got hurt on a trampoline, couldn't shoot anymore, or they kicked him off because it wasn't, I don't know what happened. There's some drama there.
Will we see them?
I don't think they actually put him on the show. I think they kicked him off early.
And we're not going to see any of that?
Look, I don't know. It's August. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about it. But
okay.
90 Day, The Last Resort. And this is the first new 90 Day show in several years.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah. But let's not talk. Now let's talk about a show that's happening right now.
All right. Before the 90 days.
Before the 90 days.
What's our accent?
I just followed you on the accent. So I'm going to bring up some comments that we have from previous episodes before we talk about each couple. But one couple that was not on this past episode was Misha and Nicola. And the last we saw is he was talking down to her quite a bit.
I didn't like it.
He said, you're prettier when you're mute.
Oh, I want to slap him.
So let's see what some people had to say about that. You got Monica Jones saying there are a lot of red flags in this relationship. He is also coming off as abrasive.
Yeah.
Then we got Selena saying, now we know why he's been single for so long, so emotionally immature, arrogant, rude, offensive, disrespectful, and so misogynistic. She's too smart and beautiful for him.
Agreed.
And finally, tell me why you're single without saying I'm single. Nick enters the chat. Mm-hmm. I got a kick out of that one. I was like, that sums it up.
That sums it up.
Perfectly. Mm-hmm. But who did we have in this episode? I'm going to pull it up. First of all, what did you think? We just watched this, actually, because of the chaos in our household. We just watched it tonight. We started out with Gino and Jasmine.
Gino and Jasmine. Whatever, just like their usual craziness. Where do we even start?
Well, we start with me actually getting the graphic up. Here we go. Gino and Jasmine. Here we go. He needs space. It starts off with that. He probably can't even read my notes.
Okay, yes. Jasmine needed space because her and Gino were fighting so much. So she goes outside to call her ex Dane or Dan. It looks like his name's Dane, but they're saying it's Dan. I don't know. Either way, she calls her ex-boyfriend. They call each other baby and like saying all these like kind of mushy words.
Can you be more of a hypocrite, right?
Jasmine, what the heck?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then she says that she needs someone who makes her feel good about herself, like Dan or Dane.
Dane. But she
Whatever
calls
his
him
name is.
Dane, but I don't know. She has an accent with it.
Yeah, and then of course she starts crying like crazy, like, oh, Gino doesn't treat me good.
Do you think she does that with everything? Like,
Oh, she cries with everything.
like if her tea's too hot or if she gets
Water
bad-
works. The drama, she turns it on. She knows how to turn it on.
This ice cream is chocolate. I want vanilla.
This is Gino's fault. Everything's Gino's fault. Okay, so then they go like to running, and then they do like this sexy workout that Jasmine initiates. Of course, she's like grinding on him, being really creepy. He's very uncomfortable. The onlookers are also very uncomfortable. And yeah, she's just thirsty for Gino, and Gino's like, Jasmine, like, calm down. We fight too much. That's why we don't have sex very often. I'm sick of fighting with you. Once we stop fighting, then maybe we'll have more sex. Those two don't work well together for me. And Jasmine's like, well, how long do we not have to fight before we can be intimate? I need intimacy. And he's like, I don't know, Jasmine. I don't know. So then they go to some like little dance party with her friends, and they're talking to him, asking him more sexual questions like about butt plugs and such, and he's like, all right, let's change the subject. So then Gino talks to one of Jasmine's friends, and Jasmine's friend is saying, oh yeah, well, yeah, she was talking to her ex-boyfriend Dane. So that gets revealed.
Yep.
And Gino, was he mad? Did we see him
So
get
she
upset?
had already told him that day about Dane. But he found out exactly when they dated and that they dated.
Right, yes.
Right. So yeah, he wasn't thrilled.
No, he wasn't thrilled, and that's the end of it, right? So we didn't get to see like the big fight, because there's going to be a big fight.
No, they were but we can't. I figure you can't have a fight with Gino and Jasmine every single episode, right?
Okay, they got to break up the fights.
Right.
Okay.
So we had some comments from last week. So this is before this episode. Go ahead and read that one.
She doesn't care about him. It's just about the dollars.
Mm-hmm. It does seem that way. I would agree.
Yeah, but she's just weird. I don't know.
She said in the tell-all that she's going to come here, and if Gino messes up, she'd take everything he has. Mm-hmm. Well, she wasn't lying.
She's taking it all.
She's getting that will. And unfortunately, he's spineless, and he's a true simp for the insane person. And it does, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with all these.
I agree. He is spineless.
He is spineless.
And a simp for the insane person.
But you just learned what a simp was, right?
A simpleton, right?
No. A simp is when you're like just all about somebody, somebody can explain this better than I can, but all you do is say,
it was a simpleton.
No, you're just like a huge fan. Like all you do is say nice things all the time, and you build them up.
Thirsty.
Yeah. I mean,
Thirsty.
it's kind of that like that.
Okay.
So next up we have Riley. We had some fireworks there tonight, right?
Yeah, Riley and Violet. Okay.
So he learned he was meeting the family, but first they had to go pick out an outfit.
Right, but it wasn't to go meet the family. She just wanted him to have something nice to wear.
Right, but there's something in a couple days she wanted
Something
him to
formal,
wear
okay.
it for. Right. But in there she was joking.
Oh yeah, I
She
forgot
called
about that
him-
part. She was joking.
She called him fat, old, and ugly.
She called him all those things.
In both English and Vietnamese.
Yes.
So you can see he was hurt by it.
He was. She said she was joking, but like...
I think she was. And he has sense that he should know. They give each other the finger all the time.
You think she was joking?
I do.
You don't think
she...
it was one of those things where like I'm joking, but I'm not joking?
I don't think she thinks he's old and ugly.
I hope not, because that would be not good.
She might think he's fat. I got the sense she did when she was doing the thing. Like, you're twice my size. Of course, he's twice your height, too. But...
Right, he's just a bigger guy. Damn,
yeah.
He's up.
But as they were leaving the store, she gets a text.
She got a text. He looked over at her phone. There was a man without a shirt, and she did not want to answer any questions about the shirtless man. Mm-mm. He's like, let me see your phone. And she's like, you're not touching my phone. This is my personal property. Mind your business. And he's like, you're a liar. She's like, I never lie. You're a liar. I never lie. They went back for
keep going. No, a couple more times.
And she then proceeded to say that was like one of her, did she say coworkers?
She said it was a coworker
and a friend,
and that she set her friend up with him, and they're
right.
together.
Right. So Riley's like, all right, if that's true, let me see that phone. And she's like, you're not seeing my phone. We're not married.
Yep.
We're barely dating. I'm my own woman. This is my personal life. We're about to go see my mom and my kids. You better tighten up your attitude. And he falls right in line and does just that.
Well, he's going to meet the family first time. You can't be all disgruntled.
No, he turned it right off. He was there, and
he's there, and he's meeting the daughters and the little brother and the mom,
and he brought gifts for the daughters,
but not the mom,
or the little brother.
And she was pissed.
Yeah.
She said, what do you mean I don't have a gift? You have to give a gift. Like, apparently it's traditional.
Yeah, the mom did not like that there was no gift for her, and I understand that, Riley.
Now, I would think, you would get a gift for the mother, but I also think Violet needs to tell him that, if that's, like, expected.
Yeah, she definitely should have expressed that to him.
So, communication, once again, an issue.
Yeah.
So, no gift for mom, that's a no-no, but then they start grilling him about... I guess his jealousy or his anger, his temper. That's what it was.
Right.
And he's like, well, I'll stop having a temper when you stop lying to me.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think he was going to say in front of the family. But then, of course, they say, calling her a liar, that's like,
that's
really
too
terrible
much.
thing.
That's a very strong word. That's like a curse word in Vietnamese. You call me a liar?
Yeah.
That's like calling me a murderer.
Exactly. So. And that's pretty much where it ended. He said, I'll try harder. I'll try harder. But is she going to try harder?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we did have some... do we have... Yeah, we had quite a few comments about Riley. Actually, it was a hot pop button. Now, this is before this last episode. These were all from the previous episode. So, number one, she's not attracted to him.
That could be true.
Could be. I don't know if that's true, though. I feel like there's a little chemistry there.
I feel like they do have chemistry, but it's true. You don't really see her, say anything good about him.
No, but I don't know. I just feel like that's her personality.
Maybe.
And I'm going to pull up the next comment, but hello, Rory. Welcome. But really, he should have discussed all the details before leaving. Intuition is a good BS detector, Riley, not loneliness. And this is in reference to day 2 of her not going to be with him.
Yeah.
But this person thinks that he should have talked to her about the schedule and all. I don't know that they didn't, honestly. He seemed surprised by it, but...
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. I like their playfulness. Mutual goofiness goes a long way. Well, she's playful. Riley's gotten a little serious lately.
Yeah, I think he's done with playing. He wants to get down to business,
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on with this relationship.
And lastly, I think they will stick together, but I have a feeling things are going to fall apart. Something feels a bit off with her, and I don't think it's only the language barrier.
I could agree.
Yeah. All right, well, next up we had a new person. And why are we still getting a new person on episode 6? I don't know. They're dragging things out, but...
Per usual.
Maybe she's not going to last very long, and that's Statler. And she is... Dempsey is the girl that she's seeing. So she starts off, and she's a bug person. So we learned that, right? She's all about the bugs, but I think they're trying to show that she marches to the beat of her own drum there, right?
Yeah.
And she says she was adopted, but she's never really felt like at home, and she's always felt like a disappointment. And when she came out, she felt even more like a disappointment. So they always have to have the little drama in the backstory, right?
Right, yeah.
But she's This is the awkward sex episode, right?
Yes, all they talk about is sex in this episode.
So she's very open about her sexuality and her sex experiences.
All the places that she's had
I had
sex.
1 girl, 2 girls, one time. I had 12 girls at one time.
Yeah. And then she goes, I'm a freak.
But she's tired of American Girls, probably because she's been with them all. And she switched her app to UK because she loves the accent, you know.
Exactly.
And that's where she met Dempsey, who was the hottest girl in the world. And they haven't met. Yeah, no, they
haven't met. And she didn't really say much about Dempsey's personality or anything.
No, she's
all
hot.
She kept talking about is that she's hot, she's hot, she's hot. So I'm like, all right, well, do we have any depth here? I don't think so.
And she's all ready to move into Dempsey, but Dempsey doesn't know that. And she says, I'm very outgoing. Dempsey's reserved. So there's, or at least sexually anyway.
Right.
So she's worried about that. Anyway, she goes and has goes to some restaurant, a sex restaurant, because that's the theme.
Everything.
With a friend, and they have a discussion, and the friend's like, you seem to be a bit impulsive with all your relationships. You really just want to go over and move in? And they talk about her ex, who also was from the UK, and I guess she had gone over there, and it just didn't work out. It became too much for her ex. I guess it was just too fast.
Yeah, because she wanted to move in.
But then her ex finds out that she's coming over, and the ex wants to meet her at the airport, but she's meeting Dempsey at the airport. So that would have been weird.
How's this supposed to work? But Dempsey's in Thailand with her dad.
Yep.
So they're supposed to meet at the airport in London at the same time.
Exactly, but now Dempsey is getting delayed, and why do I feel like Statler's going to call the ex to meet at the airport?
Yeah, I feel like we might not meet Dempsey at all, but we'll find out.
Yeah. Now they video chatted, so we at least know.
Yes, they video chatted.
We at least know that she's
an actual human being.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Could be a deep fake.
Yeah. Could be these days, you never know. So we're moving on to David. Let's see, I have one comment about David from last week. David better see if that shower works next episode. Well, we talked extensively about that. David.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, David went from the airport and got to the hotel, and 30-hour trip and no shower.
And he knew he was stinky. He
admitted it, but he didn't care.
And I guess she didn't either.
So David and Sheila. Well, they again, awkward sex episode. They woke up after their steamy night. And
they just really went into a lot of details that I really didn't care to hear.
No, she went into extreme detail.
Apparently, there was a lot of things that happened, but they didn't actually, have insertion because it couldn't fit. I don't even feel comfortable saying that. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't have said it. I don't
know why I said it.
I don't know where that came from. Let's just say she's in pain. And she went into the other ways that how long has he even been there? I mean, she acted like, this is what I've done for the last 6 months.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. One night, there was a lot that happened there.
So they ended up she went to show him the town. They went to a market. They went to what I thought was a castle, but it turned out to be a church. And he showed her some ways to sign, and even showed his name is said a certain way, something like this. David, right. And David smelled like Bo and Cheetos. Well, actually,
B.O.
A B.O.
What's Bo?
That's funny. I was thinking something else. Well, smell of Cheetos isn't that bad. Look,
Ew.
If you got perfume that smells like Cheetos, I'm not turned away. But B.O., yeah, no, I don't want that.
Ew.
I'm just saying. But anyway, the conversation between David and Sheila turns to exes and how long they've been together. And she's open about hers. Yeah, he cheated on me a bunch and I didn't want to be with him anymore. And I feel like David was a little more closed. He's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, yeah, because she started asking questions like, oh, did your ex-girlfriend know how to sign? This and that. And then David quickly was like, all right, I don't want her to think that I'm still into my ex, so we're done talking.
Right. Just shut it down. And that's where we left off, that couple.
Okay.
They still seem pretty in love.
Pretty solid. Yeah, she agreed with him when he shut it down. She was just like, okay, babe, okay, honey, babe, or some shit, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we have, I think this might have been the last couple on the show. I think so. Christian and Cleo. We open up where Christian's on the plane. He's getting nosebleeds left and right, and he's cut off because he's an alcoholic. And Christian is a lot. Christian's a lot. So it's already not. Why is he drinking so much? Is he that concerned about his pending non-kiss with Cleo at the airport?
I think that's just his. I mean, he seems to drink a lot. That's just his thing. So he's a drinker.
He's a drinker. So he does. We do have the airport greeting, and
they kissed.
And it was a hearty hug and then a kiss. But he also looked like he was overcompensating with his actions. Yeah. You could tell he felt uncomfortable.
Definitely. Christian is sus, for sure. Rory.
Yeah. But Cleo, I think, was really sweet to him, like saying he was out of her league. He said that she said that many times.
I didn't like that she kept saying that, though. That was she just felt so self-conscious. Like, where's your confidence? You know what I mean? Like, she was so like, oh, he's out of my league. And like, oh, he's so hot. Like, what about you? You fine, too. Damn, girl. Boost yourself up a bit.
Yeah. So, Christian has skeletons in his closet. What skeletons does he have? Let us know. But, so then they I'm trying to, I can't imagine, he's such he probably does have skeletons.
Oh, definitely.
But I feel like he's so out there.
Acting like that, you're definitely covering something up.
Yeah. So anyway, they ended up going back to the Airbnb. He doesn't really kick it off with the cats very well. He keeps telling the cats, I'm a dog person. Like to them.
Yeah, them cats didn't like him.
No, that's a sign right there.
Exactly.
Anyway, he's making it very clear, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep. There's
going to be no hanky-panky.
Yeah.
I'm going to
sleep. To the point where he's in bed asleep before Cleo's really even dressed and in bed. So he clearly...
Yeah, Cleo was concerned about him giving some mixed signals. She was like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know either. And
that's where we leave off that couple, and that's where we leave off all the couples. No Amanda this episode, finally. For the first time. Yes. So I got the Amanda video out just in time. So Rory says Christian has past charges involving alcohol. Well, definitely has an alcohol problem, and that was discussed with his friends, remember?
Yes.
So there was definitely an issue there. I didn't hear anything about past charges, but... Yes, that sums up. We did Love in Paradise, put that to bed. Other way, we've kicked that off before the 90 days. Well, we're right in the middle of the season, and we got The Last Resort coming in August, so I'm excited about that. And we made it, even with all of our tiredness and our illnesses in the family. Somehow we made it through, and I'm sorry we rushed through this really quick.
I barely made it.
We just wanted to get it out, and we didn't want to... we really love making contact with all of you, and we do have fun doing this. So, any last words? Oh, you really thought about this. You could just give me a flat-out no, but you got something.
Yeah, I just hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the week.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's what I want for all of you.
Yes. All right, love y'all. Oh, last thing, I'm sorry. That would have been a good sign-off. I just ruined
he's not done.
Not done because I just wanted to say we are going to be away on Sunday. We usually do this on Sundays, but we are going to be away, so this will not be Sunday.
So when's it going to be?
I think we have it scheduled for Wednesday, which is not an after show, but it will be a recap show.
Are you kidding me?
I know, it's messed up.
They have to wait?
You know what? If they have to wait, we got to come up with something extra special. So we're going to start brainstorming. If you have any ideas what you want us to talk about, we did our ideal 90-day cast. If you have any ideas like that, please put a note, comment.
If you have any crazy love stories you want to tell us about and you want us to judge you, let us know. We love doing that.
Yep. And we can't wait till next week, too, Rory. And thank you, everybody else, for tuning in or watching later or on the podcast listening. If you're listening on the podcast, jump over to YouTube. You can see us live. It's always best to watch that way. Anyway, till next Wednesday. Love y'all. What's love?
Love
Goodbye.
y'all. Bye, guys. Bye.